Strasbourg. The French Grand Prix is here again with a 2-litre limit. The race is due to start at 8 a.m. after a pouring wet night. Seagrave has had his new Sunbeam specially painted in Germany. Italy is back with Felice Nazzaro, the pre-war champion, on a Fiat. This is the first ever mass start of a Grand Prix, and it's Felice Nazzaro in the lead. It's Fiat, Bugatti, Roland Pila, Ballot, Fiat, Sunbeam, Bugatti. A real battle between nations, and only the start of a 500-mile race. Nazzaro, who used to drive the giant Edwardian cars so well, is proving just as much at home with these far smaller cars and their highly stressed engines. The road holding of the Fiats is outstanding, and they are soon well out in front. This little Aston Martin, with only a 1.5-litre engine, puts up a brilliant show until Count Zaborowski runs into magneto trouble. Bugattis haven't yet got the road holding for which they are to become famous. Fiats are outclassing all other cars today and are now first, second and third. Here's Goose Ballot. Ballot has been unlucky again. His brave venture is coming to an end. However, worse is to happen to the Fiat team. A Fiat loses a rear wheel, and Nazzaro's young nephew, Biagio, is killed. Evidently, the rear axle isn't strong enough, and to prove this, the same thing happens to Bodino's car. Let's not forget the riding mechanics who took such risks with little glory. Meanwhile, the axle is still holding on Nazzaro's car, and he leads the race unaware of the tragedy. Nazzaro wins for Italy, averaging just under 80 for over 6¼ hours. It is said that after the race, a rear wheel fell off his car on being tapped with a mallet. Nearly an hour later, 2 Bugattis come in to take second and third places. Nazzaro's sensational win and Fiat's return to racing cost £100,000. But they have set a new standard in racing car design.
And now let's take a look at the French Grand Prix results. Felice Nazzaro, one of the greatest drivers of all time, participated in the very first Grand Prix in 1906, where he achieved a brilliant second place. He went on to win the 1907 French Grand Prix and many other races across Europe. Now, 15 years later, he has repeated his victory in the midst of a world war. Taking advantage of many retirements and driving a very reliable Bugatti, Pierre de Vizcaya achieved an excellent second place. Also driving a reliable Bugatti, Pierre Marco managed to close out the podium with a third place. Other cars participated in the French Grand Prix. Aston Martin went to France with high hopes, but none of their cars finished the race. Roland Pillane had a very strong team of drivers, Frenchmen Hemery, Guyot and Wagner, but such elite drivers need a reliable car, and it was a disaster. The British racing team Sunbeam still hasn't managed to achieve a good result in this event, with 3 DNFs. Despite having a very strong driver lineup of Segrave, Guinness and the Frenchman Chassagne, they fell short. The Ballots, like the Bugattis, were inspired by the design of the American Frontenac. However, Even with star driver Jules Gu, they were unable to secure a decent result, also ending with 3 DNFs.